everybody, it's Saturday. Mickey here. Lovely day. I think it's going to be another hot one here in California. I'm taking the Lusso out this morning. Going to put my GoPros on, and hey, there you can see my Labrador there. His name is Bunty. I'm going to stick the GoPros on today. Here they are, and see if I can get some footage of the drive to where I'm going. I'm going down to a local center where I do some, where I help out on a Saturday. But I'm going to try and record the journey. It's not very far, it's only like 5 or 6 miles. Shouldn't be a long video. We want to go through some of the features of the Lusso as we go down. You know, it's partway through its transformation process. We've got the stripes on, got the PPF on, we've got ceramic done. All that's left now is the exhaust, wheels, and lowering the spring kit with Novitec springs. I've had a call from Tico this week from Motorsport LA. Wheels had arrived. You might have seen the post on that Instagram. They've already been mounted with the Pirelli P0s. It's one of my favorite tires. It's a great performance tire. The only downside to the Pirellis is they do run out of rubber very, very quickly. But anyway, they've been mounted. There's a chance that Tico might be coming up from LA to meet his brother up in Sacramento. If he does, there's a possibility I might get my wheels tomorrow, which is Sunday. If so, it'll be an opportunity to meet Tico as well. We've been working together for the last 6-7 weeks now. Really, really nice chap. I recommend going and working with him if you want some wheels or upgrades to your car, particularly around the suspension and wheels. He's super, super nice. Accommodated everything I needed to do. He's never vaulted at anything that I've complained about. I won't say complain, but I've sort of had concerns about. He just sorted everything out. So we're still through that journey with that relationship, but he's a great guy up to now, and I've got no complaints. So anyway, if the wheels arrive tomorrow, we'll be sticking that on. So I'm going to be switching over to the GoPro, like I said, and once I get over to the GoPro in the car, then we'll take a bit more footage. So I'm going to go over to the car now and get it fired up, and let's get going. So walking into the garage, you see my G63 over there, the Lusso over here. I've not got a large garage. I used to have a 4-car garage in my last place, but unfortunately that burnt down in the Northern California fires. Finding another house close by, close enough for my kids to go back to school was a bit challenging, but we got a really nice house. It's like similar size, just the garage is a little bit smaller. So there you go, there's the G-Wagon over there. Just got that, as you know. I'll be doing a few videos on that soon. And here's the Lusso. We are gonna fire this baby up and see where she goes. Hey, just got in the Lusso. Here's my key. Ferrari key goes in the slot down here. And let's fire this baby up. Woo! Thought it wasn't gonna start then. So it has all the bleeps. Not driven this for over 2 weeks now, so let's get going. Garage door open. I programmed that up. Let me get out of here. There we go. Switch off the parking sensors. Garage door opening. Aircon on. Let's get this baby going. Give it a chance. Oh, even though it didn't start for a week, the engine check light's gone up pretty quick, so I'm really pleased with that. So at this moment, my Lusso has a Capristo valve opener, which opens the valves and makes it loud at startup. I've got to reverse a little bit, and if you can see outside, I'm not sure you can, but over there is my son's. I've got this going. Let's close the garage door, which it's not closing. Why is that? Let's try again, different position. There you go, it's working. All right, awesome. Garage door closed. So over there we've got my son's GTI. It's a Mark 7.5. You know, I find it funny on the GTI. There's a Mark 7 and a 7.5. The purist, I own a 7.5. Anyway, so it's GTI over there. There is Mini there, my mum drives. My son's older GTI, which is, you know, not sure what we're going to do with that. See, we're going to make it into a project car. It's not worth selling for the amount, you know, paid for it and what I've put into it in terms of getting the engine right. I've had to put new timing chains, etc. Spent a lot of money on it, and you know, it's just not worth selling. And then over there, as we drive past, you may or may not see my Porsche Boxer. Let's see if we get out of it. Let's go. Got to be careful getting off the drive. There's a bit of a dip here. This particular Lusso has a 4-wheel lifter, which, you know, I don't need to use getting out of my driveway, but it is useful. As we get past the house, got my son's Mini, my eldest son's Mini, and my wife's E450 Coupe, which is a really lovely car. I need to do a review on that. It's awesome. So here we go, driving down. So this particular Lusso is Posy Blue. I keep talking about Posy Blue. It's a bit of a, I don't want to call it a heritage colour, because heritage colours at Ferrari mean you spend between $6,000 to $10,000. You know, like the old beiges, the old whites. But Posy Blue's been around for a while, and I've seen them in the early Ferrari Dinos. So I really am into retro. So I really like the idea that I've got a heritage, a colour from the heritage period, should I say. But you don't have to pay for it as you do with the heritage colours. It's a no-cost option, which I think it's nice. If it was a cost option, then maybe I might not have selected it. Having said that, I didn't really have a choice in the colours. Well, I had a choice of colours, but I didn't have a choice of actually picking this colour on this car. So when I went to change my 488 for the Lusso, I had a choice of 3 Lussos. First one was a black on black, so black with graphite, diamond cut wheels with black interior, white stitching. And I was sort of a bit decided that I'm done with black cars. It's just so much hassle to actually look after. And the other car that was available was a silver with red leather, and I really fell in love with that when I saw that, silver with red leather. The challenge with buying the silver one was, I think somebody had already made a decision that they were almost ready to buy it, and they wanted to wait for that customer to say yes or no to it. But the problem with the silver one with the red leather, the options were astronomical. If you can imagine that, the actual Lusso from a list price perspective is, you know, $298,000 before tax, $298,000. Then you got options. That car was coming in at $400,000. And the problem with Lussos is they sort of depreciate really, really rapidly. I mean, the purpose of buying a Lusso is actually to, you know, I guess open the kingdom to the special cars. The Lusso is one of those cars that you keep in your garage. You just cannot sell or will sell, so it becomes a daily driver. So this is, I guess, my daily driver. It's a very nice daily driver, and I've also got my G-Wagon, which also is partly my daily driver. My old G-Wagon was a daily driver as well. In fact, I'd done 7,900 miles in my last G-Wagon in just over a year. I guess it's low mileage, but a lot of miles for a car that you want to sell. Anyway, so that's gone off for being sold, the old one. So coming back to this is going to be my daily driver. It's a 4-seater. I took my wife to the airport with my daughter. 2 carry-ons, 2 backpacks in the trunk or the boot, depending on who's listening, Europe or USA, and perfectly fine getting them to the airport and back. Great car for that. I'm surprised. So this particular Lusso, the silver one with red, I didn't want to spend an extra $100,000 on top. And then there was this one, Posy Blue, with a Cuo tan interior, as you can see. I really like the colour combination. It was a dark colour, I was apprehensive, you know, so I went for this particular colour combo with a vision of doing some transformation, and I decided from the offset I was going to do ceramic coating to try and protect the paintwork, get the swirls out. I had paint correction done on it, because even though it was fresh from the factory, with the transportation, etc., dark colours show up swirls and scratches very, very easily. So when I took delivery, the paint wasn't in great condition. And look, let me just say, I'm a perfectionist, and the paint itself, you know, to the normal eye was great. It's shiny, took it out of the showroom, but you stick a light on it and it was just crazy. You know, it's totally messy. It's filth. It looked like the car was like 3 years old. It isn't helped by the fact that Ferrari use soft paints. They don't use particularly hard paints. I don't know why, but it also allowed us to you know, get a really high gloss shine. So anyway, non-metallic paint, posi blue. We had it paint corrected, had it ceramic coated to have protection, and then we PPF the front clip of the car, which is the front hood, the fenders, the fins, the mirrors. I got round the door handles and round the back bumpers, or I don't know what you call bumpers in America, but the rear bumpers. So all that was done, and I'm really happy with it. I had some stripes put on. In terms of the features of the car, my car's got about $44,000 worth of options. You can get, and there was a car available, the silver one with a panoramic glass roof. It's not an open-close roof, it's just a panoramic glass roof, but it's a $20,000 option. And I just felt that I'll be paying $20,000 for somebody else to enjoy at a later date. The other downside to the panoramic glass roof is there's no closing mechanism to stop the sun, and in California probably half the year you got beating heat coming down into the car, and I can just imagine, you know, just with a normal sunroof or moonroof or whatever you want to call it in America, the heat's really intense when you open up and let the glass come through. You know, you have these covers, so that again was a big factor. Didn't want that, you know, so I went with this without the panoramic roof. It saves me on the depreciation. I'm pretty sure I would have been troubled by the glass roof, considering it was going to be a daily driver. So I saved $20,000 in options there. That particular red car that had the $100,000 worth of options had like Alcantara red seats, Alcantara red dash. Everything was just red. Really nice to look at for about 5 minutes. And you know, after a bit of time, I started thinking that is actually, you know, going to be a bit gaudy after a while. Anyway, later on, and I'm going to post a picture of it, I got a picture of the car, and when the new owner who eventually bought it, you know, put Novitec springs on and actually, you know, put some wheels on, and I got to say, it does not look very exciting at all. And it made me happy, and I thought I was regretting not buying that car, but it made me happy that I bought this particular car, because from the outside, when I'm finished, it's going to look great. With the stripes, it's already looking great, so I'm really looking forward to, you know, finishing this one off. So no regrets in buying this colour. So in terms of features, it's got graphite grey 20-inch alloys on it right now. Wheels, graphite multi-spoke wheel. It's a dark graphite. Looks nice, but they're going to change. It's got yellow calipers on it. The Scuderia shields. It's got the rear wiper delete option. Makes the back lines look really clean. Don't really need a rear wiper here in California. In fact, it's such a small screen, you just don't need a rear wiper. It's got the Italian flag bar on the rear boot lid or trunk lid. It's got blue stitching on the leather everywhere. It's beautiful. The Cavalinos, for those of you who don't know, Cavalinos meaning the prancing horse, are all stitched in blue as well. So it's got a black dash top, the Kyo tan leather underneath of the dash, and blue stitching on the black and on the tan leather. Really nice combo. It's got these black inserts in the seats. The seats themselves are heated cooling, massaging, yada yada yada, got all the good stuff. It has a great, oh, it's not even on. It has a great infotainment system. Really responsive, quick. You know, surprised. The quality of the finishes are great. I've had, you know, Italian cars before, particularly Maseratis, which are of the same build style, and I always found that the rubbers and the plastics would melt. But my 488 and this one, you know, they've really solved all that problem, despite the fact that everything's almost covered in leather. So it's got the yellow clock, yellow dial for the rev counter. It's got the surround view package on it, which I think it's got adaptive headlights, surround view parking cameras. It has adaptive cruise control, which is an option which is not available on any of the Ferraris. unless you've got the infotainment system, I think. Anyway, the adaptive cruise control, certainly available in this. It's like a $4,000 option. Actually does the stop start in traffic. Really cool feature. I love that, particularly on my daily drivers. I have it on my Bentley. Oh, I sold my Bentley Flying Spur. That went out the door last week. I'll talk about that in another video. But on the G-Wagons, it has this adaptive cruise control. I travel a lot down the 101 to the actual airports. Traffic's crazy, stop and start in traffic, you know, the adaptive cruise control is great. So it's got the surround view camera, which comes with the adaptive cruise control. I just don't know where $40,000 goes. What else has it got? I just don't know. I can't remember. Got cup holders, which is great, you know. And that's it really. Oh, the other thing, it's got the Mantino steering wheel with the LED rev lights on it. That's important to know, because don't buy a car without the Mantino steering wheel. If you get a car with a Mantino steering wheel, nobody wants to buy it. It's like a $6,000 option or $8,000 option. You know, my wheels were $8,000. My surround view camera was $8,000. Yeah, so there you go. $40,000 picks up quite quickly. The Scuderia shields were like $1,800. The clocks, $1,000. You know, there you go. $40,000. I think enough options, and just enough to make it a nice car. So it's all good. And that's it. That's the spec on this car. I'm almost where I need to be, so I'm just going to be turning in soon. And when I get there, I'm going to sign out. So here we are. I'm actually in a place called Petaluma in the North Bay, Sonoma County. I love Sonoma County. It's just an absolute gorgeous place to be. Anyway, I'm just about to drive in, so I'm not really allowed to record in this particular location. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much for listening, and if you've got any comments, please let me know what I can do. I'm new to YouTubing, I'm new to Instagram, and you know, I'm looking for tips. Just looking to sort of share a little bit of what's going on. You know, sometimes it feels a bit lonely, but let me share what's going on in life and see where we go. Mickey Barrett here, signing off, Mr. India from UK in California, and I'll speak to you all soon.